Now I will explain what introduction of company. Sime Darby is a partner of choice for some world best brand in the industrial and motor sectors. Sime Darby also have other brands such as plantation, property, equipment, energy utilities, and healthcare. This company operates in 18 countries and territories with a strong footprint in Asia Pacific and the international footprint with a workforce of more than 30,000 employees. Next, let's move to history of Sime Darby Berhad Company. In 1910, William Middleton's son Henry de Oyster Darby and Herbert Lord Darby founded Sime Darby and Company Limited in Malacca. In 1930, Sime Darby and Company opened its first office in Kuala Lumpur, located on Jalan Tun H.S. Lee, but then moved headquarters from Malacca to Singapore in 1936. In 1979, Sime Darby Berhad incorporated in Malaysia and set up its head office in Jalan Kolej, Kuala Lumpur. In 1991, the first Malaysian assembly rolled out of the Associated Motor Industry plant, making Auto Bavaria the first BMW imported to assemble the vehicle outside Germany. And until now, which is 2024, Sime Berhad is getting bigger and growing in business.
Next, I will explain the type of segment. There are two types of segment that have used by SIMDRP, which are business segment and geographical segment. Business segment is a part of a business that generates revenue from selling a product or land products or by offering services unrelated to the main business focus. The SIMDRP's Berhad core business segments, which are industrial, motors, healthcare, and others. For the Steam Darby Industrial is a market-leading industrial enterprise with operations spanning across Asia Pacific, offering customers equipment sales and rental, product support, and innovative industrial solutions. In addition, Steam Darby Motors is committed to delivering exceptional service across the automotive value chain with over 50 years of experience in vehicle sales and servicing, distribution, assembly, and rentals. So for the geographical segment, based on location and region, Simdarbi Berhad divided up its geographical segment into Malaysia, China, Asia Pacific, and Australia Asia.
So next, I will explain about Chief Operating Decision Making. Chief Operating Decision Making is an entity that holds a very important role in the company and identify the function which is to assess the performance of the various segments in the organization. They also decide in allocation of the resources of the segment. So the first 3% is the highest Chief of Operating Decision Making in Samder Berhad, which is first one, Datuk Jeffrey Salim Davison, Group Chief Executive Officer. Second, Mohamad Nur Abdul Aziz, Group Chief Financial Officer. And the third one, Datuk Thomas Leong Yu Hyong, Group Chief Strategy Officer. So next, this is all Chief Operating Decision Maker that is responsible in every segment, which is in industrial segment, we have Dian Mahmad, Managing Director Industrial Division. Second, in motor segment, Andrew Bashar, Managing Director Motors Division. And lastly, UMW segment, Mustamir Mohamad, Managing Director UMW Division. As you guys can see here, there are several responsibilities of managing director. For the first one, providing strong leadership by effectively communicating the vision, management, and between the board shareholders and relevant stakeholders. Second, displaying ethical behavior while overseeing the day-to-day business operation, implementing board policy and strategies, and making operational decisions. Third, establishing efficient channels of communication and relationship with management, the board shareholders, and relevant stakeholders. Fourth, in charge of regularly conducting performance discussion with the business unit and reviewing the internal management report once a month. Fifth, according to MFRS 8, its main function is to help allocate the resources of the entity and assess their performance. Other than that, they also responsible in reviewing operating results in internal management reports regularly, making decisions by providing strategic advice and guidance, and allocate resources and assessing the performance of the operating segment.
In identifying reportable segment, they are required the management to use certain amount of the judgment are quantitative threshold, which 10% and 75% rule. The calculation of 10% rule can be based on the total revenue, total profit, or total asset. For the revenue, profit or loss, and the asset, the total of revenue, profit or loss, and asset is 10% or more of it combined revenue, profit or loss, and the total asset. But if is it less than 10%, it should be aggregate with other operating segment. For Sime Berhad, we calculate the 10% threshold test is based on the revenue basis. For the calculation, we sum up the total revenue for the external only to calculate the 10% threshold. The formula we use is total revenue divided with the total aggregate total revenue and multiply with 100 to convert to percentage. So sum out from the calculation, the industrial and motor are reportable segment, meanwhile the other segment were not reportable segment, and that's why it will disclose on other segment. For 75% rule, this test is only eligible for a revenue basis and it must be done after the 10% threshold test. In case the company fail to pass the 75% requirement, additional segments should be identified even they do not met the 10% threshold until it reach the 75% rule. For the short recap, Sandra Berhad managed to pass the 75% threshold test because after the calculation, the percentage shown is 99%.
The strength of Sanda Vivahan. The first one is geographical diversification. Leveraging a robust network across sectors and geographies allow investors to tap into Asia Pacific growth story. Number two is strong partnership with premium brand, providing customer access to world-class product and services. The third is significant growth potential through strategic expansion in key markets, leveraging on growing middle income and development of infrastructure. Number four is a strong financial profile, which is enhanced shareholder value and financial stability. The last one is empower and engage people, fostering a diverse and skilled workforce.
Next, we will move to the disadvantages of segment reporting. The first point is it might be a data manipulation. Data will be manipulated when the info is being recorded as a reference by management using. The leader has more authority and power on the company's software. Next point to be highlighted, segment reporting might cause company to lose competitive advantages. This is because it provides competitors a significant insight into how the company operates and its individual profit margin. That means the company could lose competitive advantages by offering too much detail about the company.
Moving on to the second part, we will discuss about the interim report based on MFRS 134. Before we go in more detail, let me explain briefly regarding the basis of preparation of interim report. In general, the basis of preparation of interim report can be integral or discrete. Similar, we adopts a discrete method as the basis for preparation of interim report. By using this method, each interim period should be considered as a separate accounting period from the annual cycle. For the Darby Berhad interim financial report is prepared in accordance with the requirements of the main market listing requirements of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. It complies with the requirements of the Malaysia Financial Reporting Standard MFRS 134 interim financial reporting.
There are two accounting policies that use in preparing the interim report. For the first one, property, plant and equipment. Property, plant and equipment is being measured and its cost model, which is cost less accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment loss, if any, in accordance with MFRS 116 PBE. The cost includes expenditure directly attributable to the acquisition of asset. The depreciation method that has been used by some Berhad is straight line basis over its estimated useful life. Second, accounting policy that used in preparing the interim report is inventories. The measurement that used by Sime Berhad is comparison of its cost and net realizable value, whichever is lower based on MFRS 102 inventories. All equipment and motor vehicle will be using specific identification basis and weighted average basis respectively.
Types of interim report used by Sanda Berhad. Sanda Berhad use condensed set of financial statements. It includes each heading and subtotal is included in its most recent annual financial statements. And then the selected explanatory note as required by the standard, and basic and diluted earnings per share on face of the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. So this is an unaudited condition statement of financial position. This is an unaudited condition statement of profit or loss. This is an audited condition statement of comprehensive income. This is an unaudited statement of changes in equity. This is the continuance of changes in equity. This is an undeclaration statement of cash flow for operating activities. Statement of cash flow for investing activities. And the last one, this is the statement of cash flow for financing activities.
Next, we will move to the current and comparative period for each statement prepared by Darby Berhad. According to MFRS 143, interim report will be measured from 1 April 2023 to 30th June 2023, equivalent to the fourth interim quarter of Darby Berhad in the year of 2023. For the statement of financial position, the current interim is 6 months, which is from the 1st April until 30th June 2023. Meanwhile, the comparative SOFP is at the end of the immediate preceding financial year is 12 months, is from the 1st July 2021 until 30th June 2022. For the statement of profit or loss, the current interim period is for 3 months, which is the 1st April 2022 until the 30th June 2023. Meanwhile, for the comparative period is from the 1st July 2022 until the 30th June 2023. And meanwhile, for the SOPL, for current and comparative or 12 month, the current period is at 1st April 2022 until the 30th June 2022, and the comparative period is from the 1st July 2021 until the 30th June 2022. For statement in changes in equity, the current interim period is 12 months, ending which is from the 1st July 2022 until the 30th June 2023. And the comparative period is starting from the 1st July 2021 until the 30th June 2022.
For the last part of our presentation, we will discuss two adjustments that can be made. First adjustment is property, plant and equipment. On the first quarter of the year 2023, the company depreciate property, plant and equipment using straight line method at 10% per annum based on yearly basis. Suddenly, Darby Berhad changed from yearly basis to monthly basis on the second quarter until financial report end. On 1st November 2023, one of the machine was purchased at cost 2,500,000 ringgit, was disposed of for a profit 10,000 ringgit. The carrying amount as at the date of the machine is 2 million ringgit, and 31st December 2023, the company acquired a new machine at cost of 1,800,000 ringgit.
We move on to the solution for the first adjustment. The balance broke down of RM 2.5 million as at 1st July 2023. This balance is then adjusted for a disposal of RM 2 million on 1st November 2023 and a purchase of RM 1.8 million on 31st December 2023, resulting in a balance carried forward of RM 2.3 million. Moving on to accumulated depreciation, the balance broke down as of 1st July 2023 was RM 550,000. After accounting for a disposal of RM 2 million deduct with RM 1.8 million, we get RM 200,000. And adding current charges of RM 172,500 calculated as RM 2.3 million multiplied with 10% multiplied with 9.12 months. The accumulated depreciation for the second quarter amounts to RM 177,500. Consequently, the carrying amount of the machine for the second quarter is determined to be RM 2,122,500.
Next, we will take a look on the second adjustment. On 30th June 2023, Darby Berhad had an ending inventory of RM 11,444,000. But on 21st December 2023, Darby Berhad discovered that they had mistakenly overlooked the assessment of the net realizable value of their inventory. By ignoring the NRV, the company may have overstated the value of its inventory on the balance sheet. After review, it was determined that an adjustment of RM 7,630,000 was required to be reflected on the net realizable value of the inventory.
So for the solution of second adjustment is on 31st December 2023, the value of inventories should be recognized at lower net realizable value and in cost. Since the net realizable value of RM 7,630,000 is lower than the cost of inventory, RM 11,454,000, the company should write down to the cost of inventory by RM 3,824,000. The loss of inventory of RM 3,824,000 should be recognized in the statement of profit or loss, and the amount of inventories is in the statement of financial position will be RM 7,630,000.
On to the last part of our presentation, I will explain on the extract of statement of financial position from the adjustment that we have made for the non-current asset of machinery. For the current interim, it will be presented as 2,300,000 and will be deducted of accumulated depreciation of RM 177,000 with 500. We get the amount of RM 2,122,000 with 500 of carrying amount. Meanwhile, for the comparative period, the machinery will be present as RM 2 million and will be deducted of RM 2,200 of accumulated depreciation, and this will get of RM 1 million 780,000 of carrying amount. And for the current asset of inventory, on the current interim will be present as RM 7 million with 630,000. Meanwhile, for the comparative period, it will be presented of RM 7,445,000. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.